Hi, welcome to the GF channel. In today's episode we are trying to upgrade and add some horsepower to our engine. So this is a head from 323 2.0 Sport 20, I believe, which is 131 horsepower. It's not as powerful as the 626 2.0 FS engine, which is 136, 5 additional horsepower, but I believe the difference is in here. We'll see once we get to the inside of the head. So what the plan is to exchange the two valves, the intake and the exhaust. And here is why. So this is a change log of what happened with the facelifts, and all the changes are only on the FP engine. So they did change the intake shape of the intake manifold shape, from where I believe the additional horsepower is, and they also did change the exhaust. So you can see here, the interesting part is on the pre-facelift the exhaust valves seem to be exactly the same as the FS, because the FS is 48 and 2, and see here what it says, it was 48 and it was 2. So it was exactly the same. I'm not sure should I change it. I have it, but should I change it? We'll test and we'll see. I will change it and we'll test and see. But the intakes, I'm actually going to use this one instead of this one. That's the plan. See how much power it can gain, or is it going to start at all? We're going to find out. Now I wanted to test with actual dyno, but dyno prices are huge, 40 euros per run, and I want to do one stock, one with only intake valve and one only intake cam. Sorry, all the time I was saying valve, it's camshaft, and one with exchanged exhaust camshaft. So this is 120 euros only for testing. Not going to happen. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to install some software to old phones and tablet and whatever I have at home, run them simultaneously to test. There are some softwares that could actually potentially give you some results. They're not going to be accurate, but we are going to see percentage based what's the increase or decrease in power once we do that. But before we actually do that, let's go and measure how what's the weight of the car, because I've done some modifications, and those programs do require you to actually get in the car's weight. So let's go measure it and then go to the test. Now the test I actually do not have on some track. I'm going to do it on public roads. It's going to be a little bit of downslope, so I assume it's going to give higher numbers. We're going to see. First measure the weight of the car, then input everything. I'll show you what I did input and go measure it. I'm on my way to check the weight of the car. Okay. Колко ви дължа?
Нищо не дължи.
Благодаря. So 1320. There's the car there. 1320. It weighs 1320 kilograms. So measurement for free. Good. Okay, the program I'm going to use, one of the programs anyhow, I'm going to use as well Lite to show speeding up from second gear, stopped from second gear to eliminate shifting. That is going to be for the Lite. Everything else is going to be with this PerfExpert. I have it on few phones, 3 to be exact, and you have to input here the car specifications. The curb weight, which I went ahead and measured. Displacement, actually when I picked up the car, most of those were filled in, like the displacement, the gasoline, the fuel capacity, Now the tires, you have to do it on your own. These are my own tires. The drag area, you have to calculate with these. Height and width are from the documentation. The CD I found on the internet only on one place for calculated, not official, but it was 0.32. So this is the end result for the drag area. Transmission was pre-filled. The ratios I actually got from the documentation. The final drive ratio, the second, the third, the fourth, these are official data from the documentation. The pitch, I just left it at the default as it says, with smooth suspension 4, it should be 4. I just left it like that, 4, I don't know. And that's pretty much it. That's all you need to set up. Of course you need to calibrate the phone's sensors, which is another problem. It's hard to calibrate, and then when you hit dyno, and then you hit stock, and here you say on what gear, at what RPM, and it will start at 26 kilometers, which we do not care because I actually start from second and floor it after that because of the time in torque Lite. Hit continue, and here you have to say how many persons, what is their weight, how much fuel, and the end result is that weight of the car and cargo, of course, if you have. Then you refresh the weather. It's online, it's actually going to refresh it. And then you hit start session. Once you start the session, you have to mount it. This has a thingy, protective case, which is mounted to the car, and I'll mount it inside of it, so I'm sure every time it's on the same spot, same angle, same everything. Now when you hit start, it's actually going to measure any vibrations or anything, and once it says go, like that, go, it thinks I'm actually moving. Interesting. Once it says go, then it's ready. And once you hit the rev limiter, you have to be on second, hit the rev limiter, and just pull your foot out of the gas pedal, let it slow down a bit, and that's it. Yes, of course, it's 489 horsepower. I have to have a pretty long straight because the car reaches almost 110 kilometers per hour on second gear on the rev limiter. I do not have a closed track, so I'll have to do it on public roads. A little bit of downslope. It's going to show different, a little bit more power because it's a little bit of downslope, but the road is perfect. So that's my choice. So out of the three phones I actually used to measure, this one is the only one that got result with this program. So it says 114 horsepower. The other one said that it's bad calibration, and the one I'm filming with, again, bad calibration. This one, so I accelerated from stop position on second gear, and this is it, 15.1 seconds till 60 miles per hour, which is 96 or something kilometers. Let's run again, see what happens. Second run, 116, and this one actually got results as well, 118, and the phone I'm actually holding is 114, quite close, but this one got really off, 13.9. I really felt as I actually did a better launch at second gear, but a whole freaking second, I don't know. Let's see the third time. And here we go, the broken one again, 115. This is 117, and 112 was from the phone I'm filming. This one was 14.1. Unfortunately, once you actually stop, it thinks you're going to start again and resets. But it was 14.1. So I believe these 15 was that was a mistake. But to make sure, I'll actually do another run. 117 on the broken one, 117 on the big one, tablet, 105 for some reason on the one that I'm actually being on, and 13.1 here. So I'm getting better apparently. That's it, 4 runs. We'll see after the modifications can we actually shave off time. Okay, let's look at the data I've collected for the 4 runs. Since the broken phone was actually able to do it consistently every time, the others did not get the first time, this one seemed to get it. Let's look at the data. These are the 4 runs that I did. If you click on a run, you can see a little bit more data. I'm just going to actually go through it like that. There's some charts. Okay, let's go with the charts. There are some charts as well, but charts are not comparable. Yes, it says click for more details. Basically the same thing which is written here, but in a chart. No point in looking at the other charts. So this is the data for this one. This is the data for the 3rd run. And this is the data for the 4th run. Okay. So we do another 3 to 4 runs after the modification. See if we have an increase. And so the whole day went with disassembly of the engine. So this is my original one, FP33, and I'm going to be placing this FSH9. See what happens. Okay, engine is assembled. All the sensors are in. Everything that can suck air is in. All the systems are in. Beer is out. It's almost midnight. There's the FP right here. So FS is right there. Let me turn on the electricity. I already pre-selected the backlit so everything is visible. Oh. Okay. Turn off the air conditioner. Moment of truth. Okay. Seems nice. Seems well. Good. I believe everything is good. There is no light here. So tomorrow I'm actually going to go and test it. See what happens. Okay, run 1. Exceptionally bad lunge I had. Very rough acceleration. It's like I pressed the pedal, nothing happened. We'll see second run, but here it says 119. Here on this one, okay, it's not visible much today. The weather is not on my side. 119 as well. 126 on the phone I'm holding, and 15 seconds exactly here. Let's go do another run. Okay, we cracked the 120s, 123 here, 128 here, 126 again on my phone, the phone that I'm holding, but here again I'm 15. Now there's something wrong with the acceleration. It used to be better when I'm starting at second. It actually had probably the torque and it was speeding up faster. Now it's completely dead when I'm starting from second gear. But at some point there is a kick which you can actually feel the car when it goes, I don't know, on the next run I'm going to see at which point it actually goes and kicks in with some additional power, and I believe that's why we get better results here but not get better here. So let's see, third run. 128, 129 and 123 on the one I'm holding. 14.8 here, so this is pretty consistent. And the other ones, the first run they actually did not, I believe the two here did not reach the 120s, only the phone I'm holding, but now they're consistently on the 120s. I'll do a fourth run which will be different. I'm actually going to start on first gear, and before 23 kilometers per hour I'm going to switch to second gear and floor it. This is how it's supposed to run for these. See what happens. Okay, on the broken one, 128.2. Here we have 128.8, and on the one I'm holding 128.3. Three of them do agree with 128, and the acceleration is at 12.2 seconds. This is with shifting in between, and I believe I even missed the 20 something kilometers per hour to shift, so maybe these are a little bit off, but I believe this is an accurate one. Okay, so let's go and check the data more carefully. And here's the data. The ones from May 12th are actually the new ones, and these are the prior ones. So let's go through them just to take note for the values, more detailed values. And that's it here. Now I've done some math. I've placed here for stock the 4 runs, for the intake modification the 4 runs, then I have minimum, maximum and average for the stock, minimum, maximum and average for the intake, and then I have here comparison the stock versus intake in percents. So in minimum it's 4%, 4.5 let's say increase, maximum is 8.5 let's say increase, and 7% average increase. Now in real kilowatts, for the 74 kilowatt engine, which is the FP, minimum will become with additional 3.5 kilowatts, 80 kilowatts maximum and half, and 79 kilowatts average. Translated into HP, you can see the numbers. The best we can get is about 7 to 8 horsepower out of the engine. Okay, I'll continue. I'll actually swap the exhaust camshaft as well to see what happens. And I have disassembled here. This is the original one, FP47, and I'm placing the FSD7, I believe. Yes, D7, FSD7. that's it. And so everything is assembled a lot earlier this time. Let's turn on the electricity. Again, I have everything in the backlight turned on, and here we have the head of the 323 with two of my valves. That's the intake and that's the exhaust. It's FP something FP, not FS, and this one is again FP. Let me try to turn it. FP something. They're here, the FSs are there. So let's go. As always, this is the first time, because if something goes bad, I'm not going to try it again. So, neutral. We have the check engine there. See, it's working. It's important when we start for it to go out. Okay, there's an air conditioner, which I forgot. Okay, seems fine. It's working. All good. Okay, it's time to actually test it on the next day. And first run, again bad. 121 here, 123 here, and 122 the phone I'm holding. And here we have 16.3. This is the worst ever. And the launch was terrible, yes. Let's do another run. 124, 123, and 121 on mine. I did a little bit better acceleration, 15.2. We are not getting good results. Let's do a third run, see what happens. So this is odd. I got 130 here for the first time ever. 125 here, 123 on the phone I'm holding, 14.8. Okay, let's do last run again, fourth, and this time I'll start with first gear. And 130 again, 128 and 125 on the phone I'm holding, 13.8. Now, apparently I'm getting better and better. I probably will leave this camshaft, we'll see. Let's go through the data and then decide. And so, this is the these are the results. The 13th, May 13th. So we have this one, 121. We have this one. We have this one. And we have this one. So I've added to the table those values and compared them to the intake. We have increase of a 1.5% to 2%. Did not calculate the power. Oops, sorry. The power here because it has to be on top of this one, but because of roundings, it's not going to align with this, and it's going to be confusing. Just the percentage between the two. And this is the stock when comparing to the stock. So this is the end result. At worst, you gain 6.4% increase in power. at best more than 10% increase in power. These are the calculations for the power itself, which I don't believe they're quite accurate, but actually they should be quite accurate if the percentage is accurate. 10% doesn't seem bad at best. Overall, the car, I do not feel any difference except the more sluggish launch if you are overloading the engine, which never happens, never ever happens. You do not usually start from second gear. Once you actually start on first, it's absolutely the same. And the other thing that I see as a difference is at about 4,000 RPM I can actually feel the car going. That's what I noticed. Other than that, you cannot actually feel any different. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe. I'll be posting more videos soon. Bye bye.